In God's time, you will lack nothing. In God's perspective, you're right on time and you're not late. You're not lost. You're just finding yourself and you're finding your way. And that requires time. And you don't have to be so hard on yourself. Probably you've set up some dates, a deadline, a schedule, and maybe you're not making it, but that's fine and that's part of the process. You're human. And if you believe in God, then you must believe in divine timing. Because sometimes we don't get things when we want them, or we don't get to our goal when we want, but we get there when we are ready for it, we're prepared for it, and when God is already deciding it's time for us to have that thing. Welcome back to your spiritual glow up. My name is Bella, and I help women empower themselves, heal their trauma, and build their best lives through self-love, confidence, and faith. In this video, I want to talk about divine timing. And for this, I really want to explain experience I had in depth this year. This year has been such a year of changes for me. I don't know about you guys, but for me, it's been massive. Besides being a life coach, I'm also a dancer. And dance is like my biggest passion in life, really. I can't talk enough about how joyful it makes me feel, how present I feel, how passionate I really am about dance, because it just makes me feel so connected to life, actually, and to God as well. So I moved to Greece to have a dance job there. I signed for a dance contract for 6 months, and I was thinking this job is gonna make me happy. This job is gonna it's gonna be the job that I've always wanted. It's really the opportunity. And oh my God, guys, I just really want to sum it up very quickly, and maybe if you ask about it, I can make another video. But in this experience, the moment I got in the house I was going to be living, because they provided with accommodation and also food, and then we were going to work in and perform in venues and hotels doing dancing shows. The moment I stepped into the house, I was like, this place is not for me. I feel so weird inside of here. The energy, it's not matching mine. And there was nothing really wrong about it. It's just that it really wasn't for me, and I felt so out of place, and I felt like really this is really not for me. Anyway, I still, because I made this choice, and I was like, of course, I want to give it a try, and I really want to see how this turns out. Sorry for this, it's moving all the time. Anyway, I was like, I really want this to work out, because for me it's really like a dream come true, and I really believe this can turn out well, so I'm gonna give it a try. But it wasn't God's idea, and it wasn't God's plan, and I made this decision actually also without consulting God. And in the moment, for me, it felt right. And according to my intuition, I felt this was the right choice. But at the end, sometimes your intuition might be confused with yours and not really God's, It can be your intuition, but sometimes it can be also triggered by what you really want and by your past experiences, and it might feel like in your guts, but it might not be the Holy Spirit talking through you. So this is why I think not even your intuition, it's the only source of reliability in your life. It should be really God. But anyway, I'm a human, and I didn't really consult with God, and I took this decision, and I was really trying still for it to work out. God has better plans for me, and God didn't want me to be there, so he showed me, oh my God, I can't tell you with how many signs he gave me for me to leave. He was just, thank you also, thank you, Lord, because he was so good. He was showing me really with so much love and presence. He was there, but also he never let me down. And I was asking him please show me if this is really for me. Because okay, the first weeks it was still like getting used to it, but from the very first night I had nightmares. And for me, nightmares are like, I get big visions through nightmares, you know? So I get like big revelations. I don't know if you say this in English, but anyway, like realizations through nightmares. So I was like, please show me. And he was showing me, but I just didn't want to listen. So sorry, God. But I did listen at the end. So let's get to that part of the story. And during this whole journey, I had so much free time because we were honestly living in the middle of nowhere. I was like, okay, I want to be more connected to God. So I'm going to pray before, like during my fasting, and also before breakfast, you know? So I started to do that, and my signs, like the signs I received, were getting stronger all the time. Like it was crazy, guys. Like I can't tell you, like I started to wake up with a lot of anxiety, and it got better when I was praying, but immediately when I stopped, I again started to feel very anxious. And I woke up crying. I went to sleep crying. I was like, I didn't want to eat. And I'm someone like, I'm a Taurus and I love like eating, you know? And I love like enjoying life, you know? But I was feeling like so low that I couldn't even enjoy this. I couldn't even enjoy food. I couldn't even enjoy going to the beach. I was in Greece. I love the sun. I love the beach. It's like my place. And I was so deeply sad and unaligned in the place where I was, that even those places that might feel like so beautiful, like heaven on earth, like paradise, like I was feeling so empty and lost, and like really like, this is not my place. I was thinking like, this is not my place, like please God, like show me, what should I do? And I really wanted to leave, but I was like still so scared about the unknown, you know? Because of course, if I gave up this contract, first I already left the place where I was living. I was living in Spain because I'm originally from Spain, and I was living in Spain, and I left my apartment there, you know? So I didn't have a place anymore. And of course, there is always the option to get back to your like family's place, but I didn't really want to, you know? And I didn't want this to turn out bad because I really wanted to have a great summer, enjoy Greece, and enjoy dancing, and enjoy like the beach, and make something meaningful about that summer, you know, about this summer actually, because it happened like 2 months ago. It's so crazy. But my life just completely flipped, you know? So anyway, from there, I kept having signs and nightmares. And at one point I had one big nightmare, because in like, you can tell I was really not in a good place, because also they were not letting me go. I was trying in my best way to just leave, you know, but they weren't letting me go. They were like, no, we need to find a replacement, or you need to find a replacement, otherwise you can't leave. And I was like, okay, this is not my business first, because that's your business and you take care of your business. It's not like because I leave, it's up on me, you know? I can leave anytime, it's written on the contract. Of course, they need to find a replacement. But this time they said, you need to find a replacement. And because I'm kind and nice and I'm good, I was like, okay, I will do that because I really want to leave. And I was trying, and I was telling them like, okay, I found this girl, like dancers that were ready to cover my spot. And then they said, like, they were saying all the time, no, this one is not like you. She doesn't look like you. Like, we need someone that looks like you, that dances like you, that has like you know? And I was like, okay, no one can be me. So what do you expect? Like, I just want to leave. So either you take it or not. And still they weren't letting me. So the last week I was there, and actually like the last day, I was like, already, I told you all the signs and symptoms that I had before, like, got bigger and more like intense, you know? So this time I had already like very strong nightmares. I couldn't sleep. But I didn't want to wake up either. I was going to stage, and I was, as I said before, like crying before going, because I felt so unaligned with the like artistic vision, and I felt like, what am I doing here? It's really not for me. Like, really, like even the dances, even that I love to dance. Imagine, I love dancing so much, and it's not the first contract that I do. Last year I also went on a contract, and I loved it like so much. Performing, it felt like I don't know, giving life, really. I felt so good, and I felt like it was so meaningful and like so beautiful and joyful, and I was always waiting for that moment of the day when I was going to perform. And this time I was just like, no, I don't want to go on the stage. Like, I hate these shows, like I hate these dances, I hate like the way I feel. And it's not that I hated it per se, because honestly, also the dances were fine, the show was okay, like was fine too, and it looked good, and we looked beautiful also as a group, as dancers. But I felt honestly like so bad, like this is really not for me. And these are signs that God gives you to show you this is not for you. It doesn't matter how beautiful, like glitterish and like amazing or glamorous it looks. If it's not for you, like you will have like clear signs and symptoms if you're connected. And I believe we're all connected, but you will have clear symptoms and that this is not for you, and you will not feel good. And do not like overlook them. Don't do that, because you have a better life like that's about to come. So that's the faith that I had. And even if I was scared, as I told you, because the future was so unknown and unexpected, and I really didn't know what to do, what to expect. Also, like if I left, I wouldn't get paid, because I was leaving just like I take my things and I leave. Anyway, I asked for God on my last night that I was deciding, like for one last sign, because I was looking at myself, and I was looking at the mirror, and I was like, really, I can't keep going like this. Like I really, like I can't anymore. I need to get out of here. And I asked, I prayed, and on that night, guys, oh my God, on that night, I woke up around 5:30 a.m. and I woke up with a strong noise, like with like boom, 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 like construction kind of work, but also like someone trying to like get in the house, like someone trying to like open the door and pulling the door and like making big noises, or like knocking, like but heavily, like incredibly heavy and loud, but coming from above, because we were like on the first floor and there was still like second and third floor, but coming from above and from like the main door. And in that moment, like I woke up and I was like, okay, God, this is my sign. Like I can't stay here. And I was shaking and praying, 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 like, okay, I'm going to leave. And I booked my flight, and I couldn't sleep and I booked my flight already. And I was like, okay, I'm just gonna leave. And okay, I booked my flight to leave the next day, and that's what I did, period. Like, summarized. Anyway, I left without saying anything. Some might say, okay, well, that's so unprofessional. Okay, well, it's still a business, and I tried my best to live in the best way. So if they didn't want to take that, then like manage it by yourself. Because at this point, I didn't care about the money. I didn't care about not getting paid. I didn't care about the dances, about the shows, about even the girls. I spoke to them, and like, of course, they understood. Like anyone could understand the position I was in. Like, if I'm not feeling well, like no one is gonna take care of me by myself. At this point, God was telling me also, like, I'm not gonna take care of you if you keep on this path. And I was seeing it, because everything in my life was falling apart, like my finances, my relationships, my mental health, my own being, my really everything was not going well. So at this point was really like, I need to take myself out of here. And that's what I did. After that, guys, I can't tell you how beautiful I've got. Like, I don't know. Now, honestly, I'm living in Europe. I can tell you, life here, it's like so peaceful. Like so peaceful. I can't tell you how beautiful I've got. Like, God is providing for me. I know God's not letting me down. I felt the most supported in my life, I think, by my family, but by my closest ones. I feel like it was the most like bossy moment I've had in life. Like, just I don't care about the rest but me, and what God is telling me to do, and blindly I'm gonna trust. And I trusted, and everything got back up again. I'm even better. My finances went back to being great. God went back to providing for me. um all my relationships strengthened, my love relationship, but also my friendships and my family relationships. And I can tell you, like, on hard times, even when it's really like hard to see the end and to see the positive outcome and to see how like things can turn out to be great again. But if you trust, if you keep praying, if you keep going, if you keep asking God what's the way, and if you keep having faith, believing He will show you the way and you will get rewarded no matter what. Okay? And that's it. I just want to tell you to trust God's timing and to include Him in your life, because this happened for me to wake up. Also, I think what happened on the last night, some might say it's like maybe the devil or something like this. Maybe it was, but I think it was also like a sign from God, like to just see how unsafe I am there and that I need to leave, because that was like a sneak peek of something that could happen if I stay there, because also a big thing for me there is that the house didn't have a location per se, like it didn't have an address, because it was just like a random house in the middle of nowhere. So it didn't even have like a proper like address. And for me, that's something like, I don't know how I didn't see that coming, but I come from like very like survival mode, let's say. That's why I really help people now to go get their dream life and an easy life, because that's what you deserve. And I'm experiencing that, believe me. So I think that's why, because I still feel like I chose from a lower state of consciousness still from myself, believing that I can't get maybe something better, and that I need to settle down for like a job like this in the middle of nowhere and like with regular conditions and like average, I would say, conditions, and like just believing, okay, this, I don't know, having like optimism, but nothing beats faith, not even the greatest optimism. And having faith in your life and having God in your life will get you to the best places, even those places that you couldn't even imagine. And it will make you feel like, I don't know, even the smallest details will feel amazing where you are, where you really are, where you are supposed to be, But even the greatest things in life can feel awful when you are not where you're supposed to be, as I was at the beach and at amazing hotels and whatever, but it wasn't for me. So now I really don't envy it anymore, and I know it's not my path. So I hope this video helped. I know it was a mess. I feel like I couldn't really explain myself. I was like too nervous, and it's a very like deep story, so it's hard for me to tell. But I felt like I really had the need to share it, and maybe at some other point I will like restructure this video again or make it better. But for now, I hope that you can at least get the message that I wanted to share, and it is like to trust God, trust divine timing, have faith, and make God like be part of your life. Okay? Reach out if you need anything, okay? Please subscribe, leave a little comment and like, and see you in the next one. Bye.